Title: A Heist for Love. Pete was what you might call a petty criminal. He had a talent for minor thefts, fraud and scams that kept him afloat in the gritty inner-city landscape that he called home. He spent his days staying just under the radar, and steer clear from the law by never diving too deep into danger. But one day, while wandering through the busy city streets, he laid eyes on Ashley. She was a vision of grace and beauty, standing at the entrance of an exclusive high-end restaurant, welcoming patrons with a smile that could melt even the coldest of hearts. Pete was struck by strong feelings of attraction. He couldn't help but strike up a conversation with her. Ashley was charming, funny, and everything he had never known he wanted. They shared stories, laughed, and for a brief moment, Pete forgot about his life of petty crime. He was head over heels over Ashley. Determined to prove himself to Ashley, Pete devised a plan. He would leave behind his life of larceny and secure a job at the very restaurant where she worked. It wasn't easy for a man with his past history, but Pete was resourceful. He used some old connections to fake a resume and landed a position as a dishwasher. Though it wasn't glamorous, Pete was content. He was now closer to Ashley than he had ever been. He watched her from afar, washing dishes and bussing tables, dreaming of the day when he could sweep her off her feet. But the restaurant job paid little money, and Pete soon realized that being a law-abiding citizen didn't fill his pockets. His dreams of impressing Ashley with his newfound stability began to fade away as bills piled up. One evening, as he washed dishes, he overheard a conversation between two well-dressed businessmen at a nearby table. They discussed an executive company's bank account that held a fortune. Pete's ears perked up, and a wild idea formed in his mind. Pete's criminal instincts kicked back into gear. He spent weeks meticulously planning the heist. He watched the executives, learned their routines, their behavior and habits, and eventually hacked into the company's computer systems. And then, one fateful night, he put his plan into action. The heist was successful, and Pete found himself sitting on a fortune of money. He bought a luxury car, moved into a luxurious apartment, and wore designer suits that screamed wealth. He couldn't wait to show Ashley that he was a changed man, someone who could provide for her and give her the life she deserved. But Pete's newfound wealth didn't go unnoticed. A mysterious blackmailer reached out, threatening to expose his crime unless he carried out a series of increasingly more risky and dangerous tasks. Pete was trapped, torn between the law and the criminal underworld. As the blackmailer's demands grew more dangerous, Pete knew he had to find a way out. With each crime he committed, he felt farther from the man he wanted to become to win Ashley's heart. Desperate and running out of time, Pete devised a plan to outsmart the blackmailer once and for all. He gathered evidence of the blackmailer's identity and intentions, and in a thrilling showdown, he turned the tables victoriously. With the blackmailer behind bars, Pete realized that leading a life of crime would never lead to the happiness he sought. He returned the stolen money, his luxurious apartment penthouse, and his luxury car. He went back to his modest life but with a new sense of purpose. When he finally confessed to Ashley about his past, he expected her to walk away. To his surprise, she embraced him, loving him for his honesty and his desire to make a change. In that moment, Pete realized that the love he had for Ashley was worth more than any stolen riches. Together, they started anew, building a life filled with love and laughter, leaving behind the allure of crime for good. Pete had finally found his true calling, away from the shadows but into the light of love and redemption. The end.